What's up, YouTube? We back again. It's been a while. We back again with another conspiracy, though. Not a reaction. We back with a conspiracy theory. Now, this is one that I've wanted to do for a long time. Like when I thought about doing conspiracy, this was the one that I was. This was the one that I was kind of molding my whole conspiracy segment about. Did the world end in 2012? Yes, if you ask me. Okay? The simulation switched in 2012. We're in a different simulation now. If you remember that movie, so in the Mayan calendar, now there's more rumors about that. But the Mayan calendar was supposed to end in, I think it was December 21st, 2020, right? I mean, 2012. I'm tripping. December 21st, 2012. And as we all know, it didn't end, right? Or did it? We don't know. I don't know. I'm going to give you a little bit of facts, give you some facts, give you some theories, give you some background information. You do with it what you will. But I don't know. We'll see. So December 21st, 2012, the world was supposed to end just like in Y2K, year 2000, right? Doomsday and whatnot. So 2020, December 21st, 2012 hits. Boom, you wake up. Sick, because you wanted that motherfucker to end, bro. You wanted the world to end on some non-suicidal type shit, but like on some like, man, I am tired, bro. So for a lot of people believe 2012, after 2012, everything started to feel like a little bit different. Not extremely noticeable, but like looking back, everything is a little bit different. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was because I graduated high school then. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if that's when like I evolved, into, being more manly because I graduated high school, going to college, things like that. I don't know what the difference was. But it's something. And a lot of people concur as well, people who didn't graduate high school, graduate college at this time, that didn't have any life-changing events in 2012. They concur as well. So, this conspiracy is brought to you courtesy I don't know why I did that. That makes for horrible filmography and audio. So, brought to you courtesy of Nick Hinton on Twitter. Obvi, because I don't know any other conspiracy theorists, and he breaks it down perfectly and gives me the ability to relay it to y'all. So watch my stuff and don't. I'm gonna give you his information. Don't go to his Twitter. Don't give him publicity. Give me publicity, right? Go to the middleman, right? Don't go to the supplier. You know what I mean? Don't go to the supplier. His stuff is too pure, man. It's too good. Nick Hannon's stuff is too good. Come to the middleman. You know what I mean? And support local businesses. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Support local businesses, man. Don't go to Nike. Go to your homeboy who's selling shoes out his truck. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Support the middleman. Support local businesses. No, I'm just playing. Go shout out Nick Hinton, man. Shout out Nick Hinton. So, did the world end in 2012? As you know, I'm doing a little bit of reading, giving you the facts and what have you, whilst recording, right? Okay, so this is basically him talking for a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna give you what he's saying, and kind of he has some opinions that he drops as well. So this is him talking. He's wanted to, okay, I don't know how I want to relate this to y'all. Basically, he's saying that he's wanted to research this topic for a while. And then, so basically he just had the urge to look it up again and look up the whole conspiracy of the world ending in 2012. And he weirdly noticed that people began talking about it again, okay? This was last summer, so it's a little bit outdated. But back then, he realized that everybody started talking about it again. But the weirdest part about his whole research is that he was unable to find any articles on it. Any articles on the world ending in 2012. And mind you that he did this research before. He's found multiple in-depth articles, multiple research articles pertaining on the world ending in 2012 and pertaining to those theories, right? And then now all of a sudden there's no articles to be found, and basically as you can imagine, it's tough writing. So he writes this pretty much all from memory, right? Because he couldn't find any of those articles that he used to write the previous thread, the previous conspiracy theory. So that's kind of weird, right? That there was no articles. Like, there used to be articles, and then the government was like, "Oh, these motherfuckers." Bro, I know what happened. There's no articles because the government had to take, or whoever, the time travelers, whoever ended this shit, had to go back. The simulators. That's who did it. The simulators had to go back, right? Retract the articles. They're editing them to put 2020 instead of 2012. Duh, COVID. Civil rights movements, murder hornets, Kobe dying. You know what I mean? Like, 2020 is what they meant to say. 2020 is the actual end of the world. So the simulators had to go back, edit the articles. I get it. What else? Why else is the world ending in 2000? Oh yeah, the Mayan. So I don't even know what this means. I didn't do research on this because it sounds weird to me. Maybe that's why you should do research. But they said, I heard that the Mayans actually made a mistake and they didn't calculate correctly, or they didn't what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't think about some type of like time issue. So the world ending in 2012, they actually meant 2020. I don't know if that's true. You know, that they're probably going to say that every year. Oh, they meant 2022. They meant 2024. It got to be an even number. You can't go out on an odd number, right? So, okay. Okay, so here we go. So did the world actually end in 2012? Well, it was the year scientists at CERN, which is a large scientific corporation. I don't really know the whole backstory about that. But I do know it was in a book I read by Dan Brown. They make like molecules and particles and stuff like that. It's super in depth. So it was the year the scientists at CERN finally found the Higgs boson, or the particle that Stephen Hawking predicted that could destroy the universe. This is when they found the particle was in 2012, okay? Stephen Hawking basically said this particle is going to cause the universe to undergo a catastrophic vacuum decay. And think about it, if we were vacuumed or sucked into a black hole, would we even know? Like, what is that? You'd be like, oh, like you wake up one day, you just like swirling right, like, oh shit, there's that black hole stuff they're talking about. No, you wouldn't know that, bro. That shit just happens. Duh. So what would happen if we destroyed the universe? Would we know? Maybe CERN accidentally created the black hole that sucked us into it without even noticing, because like I said, we're not going to notice this. Some physicists, so these are the people, like type of people that work at CERN who are in the science and stuff like that. They actually believe that this is possible. There's an old cliche argument that like I was saying when I started the video, nothing has felt right since 2012, and Nick Hinton has said that he agrees as well. And like I said, he concurs with me kind of. Maybe it has something to do with growing up and getting older, but ever since then, it seems like the world descends more and more into chaos each day. Time even feels faster. I just feel like back in the day, you'd be riding your bike all day. I'm talking about all day. In 5th grade, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, man, that shit took forever, bro. Those days were long days, man. Like hooking up with the homies early in the morning, riding your bike all day, just like throwing rocks at objects and then like playing games all night. Like, those were a long 24 hours. And now it's like you wake up early, and then by the time you know it, it's like 1 p.m. Oh, I got to go to the gym. By the time you 5 p.m., you know what I mean? It's like time is moving quick, but it's good though, because I hate going to work, and time overall moves quickly. If I went to work in the 5th grade, I'll be there for the whole 24 hours, it feels like, you know what I mean? So, but since 2012, could time be moving a little bit quicker? Is it us growing up, new life experiences, things like that, maturing? I'm not sure. So overall, not necessarily since 2012, maybe just like since our adulthood. Maybe I'm not even gonna say since technology because it's been like almost a little bit later than that. I feel like, but since like the modern day, post to like within 2000s, I'll say there's been like a new happening, a new calamity, a new almost like a detrimental event that happens all the time, right? Um, Mass shootings, murder hornets. I gotta stop talking about them because I haven't seen one. They're not real. Mass shootings, acts of terrorism, things like that. Except this COVID thing only stays in on the news headlines for 12, 24, 48 hours. You know what I mean? Because there's something else happening. There's always something happening, right? One theory is that he writes about is did we die and go to hell? Right? We all died because we all. If you go into like the religious side of this, we're all sinners, right? So did we all die and go to hell? That's not really believable. Well, I mean, I guess it could be. It depends on how you look at. I don't even want to say life in this whole video, right? Because what is life? Are we living life, or what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Are we simulating in the simulation, right? So, so I guess you could. I guess technically it's possible if you believe in that stuff to go to die and go to hell. I'm not sure. Some people do believe this though. Okay. So like Nick Hinton and a lot of people and myself have said before, we probably live in a series of simulations, right? Perhaps the universe was destroyed by CERN and our collective consciousness was moved into a parallel universe next door, right? So it's pretty much a different universe, completely different universe, but it's probably identical. Remember I think it was the Antarctica video that I dropped a little bit ago. I haven't recorded in a while. I've been dumb busy, like applying to grad school, work, stuff like that. Washing my car, I wash that bit like every other day, right? So in the Antarctica video, they found a parallel universe, like low key under Antarctica, literally like sub Antarctica. That's a parallel universe, and time is moving in reverse. So I mean, like if it's that easy to find something that different, it wouldn't be completely out of the question that we would be in a identical universe, pretty much a parallel universe. Is that possible? It's possible. It's possible. So all right, we're gonna get into now. Now we're kind of going into the thing we all know about, right? The Mandela effect. Personally, I feel that the Mandela effect didn't really. I remember when I just got chills, bro, thinking about this. Like, this just popped in my head. Like, I remember the first time experiencing the Mandela effect without hearing about the Mandela effect. Okay, because that's why, all right, my chills went away because it makes sense. Obviously, the Mandela effect because Nelson Mandela, but I was kind of like in like the first, like the first group of people. Like I experienced it firsthand without hearing about it later, if that makes sense. So I remember 2000 and I don't want to get the year wrong, but I think it was. Let me make sure. Hold on. I remember it was yes. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I was correct. But I remember I was at my second college. In 2013, I remember I was dry. I went to CVS, right? I was with my homie. It was raining. Like, these details don't matter, but it shows you that I remember this. It was raining, and I remember the Mandela effect. Let me describe the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect is basically a topic, a subject, a title, an object, anything that you see nowadays, and then you could have sworn you remember it different. You could have sworn you remember it different. Like the Berenstain Bears. I'm gonna put this on the screen. The Berenstain Bears. Like, we always thought it was the Berenstain Bears, but it's really Berenstain Bears. Did something change? You know what I mean? Did something change, or was it always like this? Did we just were our minds just wired to say Berenstain because it's easy? But it's technically Berenstain Bears. So another ones are Febreze. Some people remember it Febreze, Febreeze, but it's really Febreze, right? Some people remember Skechers with a T in it, but it does not have a T in it. Looney Tunes. Some people remember Looney Tunes, Toons, instead of Tunes, or yeah. And then some people may remember J.C. Penney, Penny, instead of Penney. And there's an ongoing list of this. Okay, now back to my experience of noticing the Mandela effect immediately. And like I told you, it was 2013. So it's after 2012. So did this stuff like, were we living in the Berenstain life, the Febreze life? And then 2012, the world ended, and then we're transferred to this other universe where it's now the Berenstain Bears. It's now Febreze spelled different. Like, it's little things like that don't really matter. It doesn't alter your life at all, but there are subtle differences that could give evidence to a parallel universe, right? Or we're just remembering them different. So my experience with the Mandela effect was a primary experience, firsthand experience. It's not super important, but it's not eventful, right? But I just remember I was driving, it was pouring rain. I pulled into the CVS parking lot. Reached back to grab my umbrella. This is wild because I literally remember it this detailed. And then I got a notification on my phone from CNN, I believe, 2013, after 2012. I looked at my phone and it said Nelson Mandela died. And I'm like, what? I was like, I thought he was already dead. Now, that may mean nothing, right? But I remember, I'm like, I could have sworn he was dead. And I was not the only one who's experienced this. You may have experienced this too watching this, but buku people online everywhere remember Nelson Mandela dying in 1987, I believe, in prison, I believe. I can't remember specifically, but I remember. Yes. So the next part is the Mandela effect comes from Nelson Mandela, whom many people believe to have died in prison in the 80s. I believe it was 1987. However, to many people's surprise, his funeral was national news in 2013, and he lived a long, happy life. So 1918 to 2013 was his time of death, or was his year of death. But why Nelson Mandela? I think that was the first in 2013. After 2012, I think this was the first incidence of something like this happening, which could be our introduction to a new parallel universe. You know what I mean? So, Mandela effect does get a little bit creepier, right? So some people remember the Statue of Liberty being in a totally different location than it is now. That location being Ellis Island. But it's actually on Liberty Island, which makes sense. But a lot of people remember it being on Ellis Island, not Liberty Island. So I'll put this on the screen, but it's a painting pretty much depicting the statue at Ellis Island with no other islands nearby. That's how they know it's Ellis Island. Was the artist just not paying attention? Did he just like it better this way? I guess we don't really know, right? So if this isn't weird enough, I'm gonna put these pictures up. I promise. If this isn't weird enough, if you go on Google Maps Street View, there's a few specific areas on Liberty Island, right, where the Statue of Liberty is, where the Statue of Liberty is just like not there, right? Like, I'm gonna show you. This shit's wild, bro. Like, now this could be, I don't know. We're deep into the technology area, right? All right, this thing playing games. So they're taking pictures on Liberty Island where the Statue of Liberty is, and the Statue of Liberty is just not there. Is this residual? Is this residue? Is this overlapping of the previous timeline? Like, are these? This is what I'm saying. Are these pictures residue or overlapping into our timeline from the previous timeline? Because the Statue of Liberty is on Liberty Island. So the account uploading these strange pictures goes by the username August. I think it's Auguste, or it could be August Bartoldi, who he designed Liberty himself. And it is Google approved. If that means anything to you, it doesn't mean anything to me. Because obviously not him, but like the history that it presents is correct. I need to hurry up, y'all. I'm not gonna last this long. So apparently, right before United States entry into World War One, the Germans committed the first act of terrorism on U.S. soil. It was considered one of the largest artificial non-nuclear explosions to have ever occurred, and one of the largest or first acts of terrorism on U.S. soil. And I've never heard about that in school. You probably never heard about that either, unless you're like a history buff or into that stuff. So anyways, this explosion is the reason the Statue of Liberty's torch is closed to the public. And it's been closed over 100 years. But there's buku people who remember climbing the torch, remember being in the torch, right? And I will post the pictures up, but there's literally tweets of just like nonchalantly saying, oh, I went up to the torch today. There are 403 steps from the foundation to the top of the torch and Statue of Liberty, and I climbed them when I was 17. Like, there's just hella people saying they climbed the torch, but it's been closed for 100 years. And as we know, if it's been closed for over 100 years, you're not tweeting if you're over 100, most likely. And then more creepiness. There's pictures of people inside the torch. Pictures from inside the torch. They look a little distorted. I don't know. I'm going to try to find some more pictures from inside the torch and put them up on the screen. But there's pictures from inside the torch looking out. And if it's been closed for 100 years, you're not taking pictures. And so there's a weird account on Twitter. This is Nick Hinton speaking. There's a weird account on Twitter at Statue Ellis Foundation, which makes no mention of Liberty Island at all and sports a creepy banner of people walking upstairs that leads to literally nothing. Right? This is right? So there's just people walking up the stairs that really much leads to nothing. But it looks like a pretty cool platform though. I would walk up there. So there's this video. It's pretty much a collection of Facebook photos where people have tagged their location at Statue of Liberty Ellis Island. However, the people are posing in front of and staring at nothing. They're on Liberty. This gives you chills, bro. It's wild. So they're saying they're at Ellis Island, but there's nothing behind them because it's supposed to be at Liberty Island. But people think it's on Ellis Island. Like, it's so weird because, like, was it on Ellis Island prior to 2012? Before we shifted to this new dimension or universe? And now it's on Liberty Island? Like, what's going on? I'm gonna insert the video. I'm gonna insert the video in this video, right? And I think it's only a couple minutes. So you guys can watch that. It's wild. Okay, so back to CERN. Well, anyways, a while back I'm reading from what he's saying. A while back there was a viral thread on 4chan posted by someone who claimed to be one of the 23 scientists at CERN responsible for creating the Mandela effect. They claimed the planet was destroyed and we were placed in a simulated world, right? However, the thing I thought most interesting was that whoever this person was described reality as being like a set of Russian dolls. You got the doll, and then you open the top, and then inside there's another doll. Open the top, inside. Basically, this is saying we're in a simulation within simulations, which is terrifying because who are we simulating? We're not simulating anybody. That means we're the bottom of the totem pole getting simulated by motherfucking whoever, bruh. Like, we just getting simulated by people getting simulated, by simulators getting simulated. What, bro? Like, relax. Why are we the bottom, man? What'd I do? The idea of simulations within simulations or a multiverse is not something new. It has been a part of Eastern philosophy since the 3rd century. A quote by Alan Watts illustrates it perfectly. So this is a quote, wop wop. Imagine a multi-dimensional spider's web in the early morning covered with dewdrops, okay? And every dewdrop contains a reflection of all other dewdrops. And in each reflected dewdrop, the dewdrops is a hilarious word. The reflections of all other dewdrops is in that reflection, and so ad infinitum. So basically, you look in the dewdrop and you can see the reactions of all other dewdrops from all other angles. Universe, simulation, right? But anyways, besides the Mayans, there were some other people who predicted 2012 would be the end. One of these people was Terence McKenna. Well, he didn't necessarily believe that 2012 would be the end, but he predicted there would be some reality rearranging event. He made this prediction using the time wave zero formula, which supposedly mathematically decodes the King-Wen sequence of the I Ching into something that graphs the fractal patterns of history. I'll put these pictures up to make it kind of more understandable. The graph culminates in a singularity point of infinite complexity. To better understand this concept, you can imagine a tape wrapped up in a spiral like you find it inside a VHS tape. Time goes around and around in the smaller and smaller loops until eventually it runs out, right? So I'll throw that up real quick. And then it just stops in the middle, okay? Is there another meaning to the end of time? Preston B. Nichols, a supposed whistleblower who wrote books detailing time travel experiments at the Montauk Air Force Base, claimed that they were never able to time travel past 2012. Right? The weirdest part about that is he said this in an interview. Guess when he said it? You didn't guess it because it's a random year. But 2014. Isn't it weird that he said we couldn't time travel past 2012, but he said it in 2014 when you're already past it? It's wild to think about. So according to him, there was a very abrupt wall when trying to time travel past that. Okay. So there's also a theory floating around that we've reached the end of history. The end of history is a philosophical idea that has been talked about by pretty much notable figures who do this type of research. Okay. At the end of history, events still happen, but humanity has reached the end of its pretty much evolution. We can't evolve anymore. We've reached the end. Okay. We're just kind of living our life day by day. It's basically the stagnation of human progress. And basically, was the end of history? Was it 2012? Was that when we reached our stagnating progress? So does that mean that racism will never end because we can't progress past that? Does it mean slavery and other, everywhere will never end because we can't progress past that? Will we ever be a perfect society? No, we'll never be able to progress that. It's just wild because this happened in 2012. Was that when we reached the end of time, end of history? I don't know, man. So I just wanted to kind of give you all the facts, give you all some theories, give you all some statistics, and just kind of make y'all think. Just kind of make y'all think about it. It's something crazy to think about, man. But I think that I felt a little different since 2012. Like I said, it could be because I became mature. I'm not mature. I'm not mature. Could it be because, I graduated high school, started a new type of life, moved away from home, things like that? Or is there a deeper meaning? We could be in a alternate universe right now. Simulation within a simulation within a simulation. We're the simulators. We're the simulatees. We're getting simulated, bro. That's crazy. They're telling me to make this video, so I did it. That's the only reason I'm doing it, because I'm simulated to do it. All right, y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for watching. Right, it's a long video, but man, this one was worth it, bro. This is worth it. I think I'd watch this video. I'd watch it. I made it. I gotta watch it again because I have to put pictures and shit in it again. Whatever. But I thank y'all, man, for watching it. I thank you guys. But stick around for more conspiracies, more reactions, stuff like that. All right? Peace.